Hi, this is Alan Shea with Art Society, and we're here today at the Arroyo Seco area of Pasadena. And the reason why we're here is it's about the history of Pasadena and the new project that's going on right here, right below the Pasadena Bridge. And we're here with one of the reps from the Black Carpenters Union, and he's going to share with us their participation and what he can tell us about some of the history that he knows about Habitat for Humanity, which is here actively building a new project. So why don't you share with the viewers your name and what brings you out today?
My name is Kyle Patterson, a representative from the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, Local 1506. And while we're out here today, the membership decided to link up with Habitat for Humanity. We have some fine veterans that fight hard for our country. They're out here deserving of these places right here. So we had time on our hands and we decided to come out and put some work in. I grew up in Los Angeles, not too far from here. So one of the things is, when I came into the Carpenters, I didn't know nothing. And it was a matter of, now where I'm at in my life, I need to be able to give back. And learning the trade since 2000, since I've been in the trade up to now, working for some really great companies. The only way I was able to get with those companies is from being in the union. And I was a foreman on my last job for performance contracting, doing some work out at LAX, and just all those great opportunities, being able to give back to the apprentices out here. These guys, they don't get a chance to learn too much in the field like they should. So this right here is some time for them to come out and get some one-on-one time with some mentors that's able to have that time to learn instead of, go, go, go.
Well, good. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions so you can help educate the viewers and make us really aware of projects like this, and certainly what your knowledge of Habitat for Humanity's role is here with this particular project. So can you give us a little background on how this particular project came about? So
from networking with a young lady that works with Habitat for Humanity, the coordinator, Kathy, we let her know what our objective is, what we have to offer, and if we could be of any assistance to her. She's told us, hey, you know what? We have a project coming up in April on the 15th for some veterans in Pasadena. It's a series of houses. If you guys want to come through, we would appreciate it. So as far as that goes right there, that's the extent.
We are back, and we have one of the volunteers here that we couldn't miss having him on, and the reason why is because he's really part of Pasadena. So why don't you share with them your name and what brought you out here today?
Okay, my name is Gregory Hawks. Okay, what brought me out here today is volunteering to be a part of and help for the Habitat for Humanity project as far as being a carpenter.
Okay. And we understand that there's union members here that came out in groves and make sure that they participate in today's event. So why don't you share with the viewers, what that's about and what does that do for the union?
Well, what it does for the union is it helps enhance community awareness as far as the union being of support within the community. And it also helps strengthen the union brotherhood, and it also helps the younger apprentices, because I'm a journeyman, 23 years in, and we also come out to help to support the growth with our apprentices.
Okay, well,
and help build their character and strength within the union.
Good, and I think you touched up on a very good point to talk about and share with the viewers. Being in the industry for 23 years, we have certainly seen a high increase, I should say, of building project development, especially here in Pasadena. What are the opportunities like, and what is the pathway for them to get there?
Well, the opportunities right now, because of the growth in our state, in our country, is overwhelming. I mean, it's a great time for someone who might be interested in becoming a union carpenter to get in this trade. It's definitely a great time and a great opportunity for a young person to get in this industry.
Wow, we were very fortunate. We have one of the home recipients of the program. He's going to share with you his name and really how did he learn of the opportunity and what does this mean to you?
How you doing? My name is Donovan Broncala. I'm an Army vet, and the way I found about this opportunity was my wife. She saw it on Facebook, and she said, "What do you think about this?" And immediately I said, "Oh, that's a scam. That's too good to be true. There's no way." But what gave it credibility to me was when I saw Habitat's logo on it. My uncle, when I was younger, he used to do a lot of volunteer work for Habitat, so I knew the name, and it made it something credible that we could go to. So we went to a little seminar and we filled out an application, and from there we went through interviews and house visits before they decided to select my family.
Okay. So,
yeah, my wife and three lovely children, daughter and 2 boys.
Okay, so why don't you share with the viewers some of the requirements that permitted you to be one of the recipients of one of these homes?
Yeah, so Habitat, they have some requirements, and the requirements are substandard living arrangement currently, so that either means overcrowding or rundown conditions. They also require that you make no more than 60% of the median income of the area that you're moving into, meaning that you're rent bound. You make enough money to live, but you don't make enough money to save and to buy a home and to progress and move into the middle class. So those are and you also have to have a willingness to partner with Habitat and to continue a relationship after this home.
And so there's some real requirements for that.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And why don't you share with the viewers what that is so they can see what you are committed to and what Habitat make sure that they include within each applicant.
So each family that applies has to complete 500 hours of what's called sweat equity. 335 of those hours have to be completed here at the site, building the 9 homes. It's going to be a 9-home community. And then we also do 100 and what's the difference? 65 hours of non-construction hours where we're together in a class, all 9 families, and they teach us about finance. They teach us about repairing our homes. They teach us about successful tools that we need, because none of us have owned a home before. That's also another requirement. You can't have owned a home. So they're giving us a springboard into the middle class, and they're really giving us the tools to succeed, not just giving us the house. And the house isn't given anyway. We do pay for it. We pay for it at cost, and they're giving us opportunity to succeed.
So what would you share with the viewers as to what you know about some of the history of this property and Pasadena as a whole?
Yeah, so this project in particular is called the Desiderio Project, and it was named after an Army base that was here, Reginald Desiderio. He was a Medal of Honor recipient in Korea. If you read the citation, it'll send chills up your spine. He's a very, very honorable man. And this ground was given to the Army during World War II. And before that, it was part of a hotel, and it was also part of, I believe, a hospital. If you could pan to the right, you would see the 9th Federal District Court. That used to be a hospital. You look at it, there's 2 wings on that court. But Habitat's been working to secure this location since 2009. That's how long it's been that they've been trying to, because once the Army decided to reduce its footprint, when the Department of Defense budget was cut, they said, "Oh, we don't need this space anymore. It takes too much money to run." So they applied to Pasadena, and they said, "Hey, Pasadena, what do you want to do with this?" And so Pasadena held an open forum saying who has a repurposed plan for this, and Habitat said, affordable homes in Pasadena is a big concern, and they started the process in 2009 to get this, what you see, started today. So wow. 8 years in the making to get to this point.
Wow, that's great. And so do you know how many applicants were submitted to try and be one of the lucky recipients?
Off the top of my head, I don't know the exact number, but there are pamphlets out that shows how many, and I believe I want to ballpark it at around 1,600 applied for these 9 spots. Yeah.
So now, today, will we have the opportunity to see many of those 9 that got a spot, or do they come in intervals?
Yeah, everyone's schedule in the 9 families is different, so it's difficult to get everyone in one place at one time. But throughout the week, you'll see different people coming. Today it was me, my wife, Matthew, and Bethany as another couple.
We're inside of one of the single-story properties, and we're going to have you to give us some information on what you've learned about the floor plan and bedroom size and square footage.
Sure, like a quick little tour. Yeah,
Sure,
not a problem. Yeah, so right here, this is obviously the living room, and the only real difference in the floor plan between the first story and the second story properties is that the second story properties leading out to the backyard, they have like a little laundry room, and so that little laundry room kind of eats a little bit into the dining room, a little bit into the kitchen. So the kitchen and dining room are a little bit smaller on the second stories, but all around about 1,200 square feet for both of them, so they're very comparable.
So this is a 1,200 square foot
1,200 square
property.
foot home,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. And so this area over here is.
This would be the dining room.
Okay. And what about where the door is open over there? What is that?
That is the
Kitchen?
Kitchen, yes, exactly. Yeah, that kitchen leads straight out, and on the left side of the house here, down the hallway, we have the guest bedroom and two other bedrooms, and then a master bedroom with an attached bathroom.
Okay, so why don't we start this way first, and kind of
This would be the
point.
guest bathroom.
So this would be the guest bathroom. Okay. And what about what is this? The guest closet?
Yes.
So this would be the guest closet.
Guest closet. This would be the first bedroom
Okay.
with its own closet.
And it looks like it's about a 12 by 14 square foot area.
That's about right.
Okay. And what is this right here?
This is the second bedroom.
And what would this be here? This area?
This is also a closet.
A closet. Okay.
That's a closet. This is a closet, and this is the other room.
Okay. So now it looks like throughout this hallway, it just gives a walkway for the 2 bedrooms and an
Yes.
adjoining bathroom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
The guest bathroom with the 2 bedrooms close by.
Okay.
And on the opposite wall of the kitchen is the master bedroom.
Okay. So, well, come on, Bubba. So over here you have another hallway area.
The hallway with a washer and dryer.
Wash and dry here.
And then a
Okay.
linen closet.
Linen closet over here. Okay.
And it leads directly into the master bedroom.
Okay. So the master bedroom is kind of separated
Yes.
from
front of the house.
from the front of the house. Okay. Yeah, that's really nice. So it's situated, and it looks like it has its own master closet and master bathroom.
Yes. Master closet right here.
Okay. Okay.
And on the other side of that.
All right.
So we were able to catch one of the Habitat for Humanity's representatives, and he's going to give us the history, the information, and everything to really show how fortunate we are to get this project here in Pasadena. And certainly from one of the recipients, he's given us some background, but I hear you can give us a full
Full story of
Full
what's
story.
happening over here.
absolutely. So
Sure
why don't you
can.
share that with the viewers?
Okay, we'll do. Well, my name's Santana Rodello, construction staff here with Habitat in Pasadena. We're doing 5 bungalow-style, craftsman-style houses right underneath the beautiful Colorado Bridge. And we have some homeowners right now. They're the ones with the green shirts. So what we're doing right now, actually, it's different phases. Right now, they're starting on those 5 houses over on the other side, and about the same time last year, it was that phase, but over here with these 4 houses. And we're really excited that we have such a good group today of carpenters. They're really kicking some good butt, just paving the way so that for the next few weeks we have plenty of work for our volunteers that come throughout the weeks. We have some static volunteers too. They help us out a great deal because they're here every week. But it's really a blessing to have professionals come out here and really put it down and really knock out things that will take us a longer period of time to do. So we're really grateful for them coming out here.
Well, good. Well, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions so that the viewers can get a good sense of what goes into a project of this size, especially through Habitat for Humanity. So did you or Habitat for Humanity, do they have a projected time frame to get this project completed from
That's
the
right.
time they broke ground until the time of the folks moving in?
That's right. For these 9 houses, it's about 2.5 years. We're due next year, July 1st. So with the time frame that we've been given, these 4 houses, it's taken us about a year to this point where we're at right now, but we have about the same amount of time to do the next 5, plus all the exterior landscaping and what have you. But so we have 1 extra house with these, but we're faced with a lot of challenges with these 4 houses that we're really confident on the next 5 houses we're gonna nail it down and actually hopefully even beat that timeline where we're paced really well and doing those 5 houses in the same amount, if not even better than these over here.
Okay, so why don't you share with the viewers some of the challenges so they can kind of see what you, as the general contractor, could we refer that?
Construction assistant.
Construction, well, no, I mean Habitat for Humanity, they're the
Right,
general
right.
for this project, correct?
Yes.
Right, so why don't you share with the viewers what the challenges are that you've alluded to that you guys feel confident you're going to overcome in the last 5 houses, but is a learning curve here, especially
It
in
is.
Pasadena.
It is. Every house, it's a brand new challenge because it's the first stories are all quite the same, and the 2 stories are all quite the same, but they should be built the same way, but there's little different challenges that we face with each one, but for the majority of the time, each 2-story house has its own little thing that we have to face, like with the HVAC system, where we had to actually build a structure for that. So for the next 5 houses, before we actually continue doing any other phase of the project, we'll make sure that that's done, so that when the subcontractor comes, he knocks it down, so we don't have to waste time or money with that problem.
Okay. Why don't you share with the viewers some of the history about Habitat for Humanity that you know of, so they can really see how it got started, how did it come over to Pasadena, and how many projects have been awarded to Pasadena.
So I think for Pasadena, it's there's a fella named Ace McCain, something like that. I'm not too familiar, although I should be with
Okay.
the founder. But yeah, he started out over here. As far as I know, they've done at least 9 projects since the 1990s. About over 200 families, I believe. And this is one of the bigger projects, nine houses. But also we impact different families through the repair program, where we go out and it could be a simple job as installing a water heater and or fixing a fence or doing a ramp. So it's not just big builds like this, it's also repair programs that we do where we impact different families. So yeah, in that aspect, it's a little different from traditional construction, new construction, where we're out fixing stuff, but we do try to help as many people as we can.
So can you share with the viewers how did Habitat come across getting this property and working with the city in a partnership to make sure this property would be part of a low-income project that you guys would head up?
Not too familiar with that.
That's a good answer. I like that answer. How do you feel about this opportunity, and really, what are you getting out of being a volunteer?
This is a really great opportunity, and First of all, I'm really thankful for all the volunteers that have been coming out. And what I'm getting out of it is I'm making more friends, new friendships, experience, you get to see it from beginning to end. So, and it gives you a better sense of appreciation for your own home.
And why don't you share with the viewers your name and how did you get lucky to be one of the recipients?
My name's Ofelia Villarreal, and the way I became involved was I'm very involved in my kids' school. So it was a flyer that went out advising us of the meeting that was taking place in one of our local parks. So I went there, and that's where I got all the information. And from then, it was a long journey, but it was worth it. It was worth the wait and everything.
Well, good. And you have how many kids?
I have 2 boys. Two boys, yep.
Good. And what about you?
I'm Jasmine Broncala. We actually found out through Facebook about this opportunity. I didn't know it was really going to happen. So when we got selected, oh my gosh, it was overwhelming. It's such a blessing. It's Pasadena, it's beautiful out here. The the farmers markets that we're going to be able to start going to pretty much every week. It's going to be great for our kids because we're going to have lifelong friendships for like the next 20 years with 9 families, and a lot of them have kids in and around the same age as our kids. So they're going to be able to grow up knowing all of their neighbors. You don't get that. It's a community. It's our community. It's for us. So we're really lucky and we really appreciate it. We hope you guys welcome us with open arms, and of course the painting. You guys can always come and help us with that. There's plenty to do, and yeah, we're really thankful and we're really blessed. We're really lucky.
Well, and we owe a great appreciation to your husband. He gave us great information today, and that's why I wanted to end with him as one of the recipients, and also letting the viewers know really what Pasadena stands for, from his perspective. And he sounds like he's a man who served the United States in the military, and now he's going to be one of our permanent Pasadena residents.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out and volunteered. There's still a year to go on this project, so if you like what you see on the news here today, go ahead and sign up. SGV Habitat for Humanity, there's a volunteer matrix, it says volunteer now. Click on it, register, come out for a day and see what we're all about. What I've learned.
We're going to go ahead and close out the segment of today's Habitat for Humanity here in Pasadena. And we want to just thank you so much, Ms. Duncan, I'm going to call you, for making sure that the viewers know how important this day is, right, and how important this project is. And with that being said, I want you to share with the viewers your thoughts on today's show and why you wanted to make sure this is recorded for history, and what does this mean to you?
Well, me being a Pasadena born and raised, and my family's lived here for close to 100 years, this hits home for me because I lived right around the corner from here. And when I found out the Carpenters were going to come out and donate some time, of course I had to be a part of this because this is my home. Right. So, but as far as the history is concerned, you have to give back. My parents did it. They taught us and my family to give back because this is your community. And like I said, I have no problem with coming out and donating time and whatever else is needed of me, anything that I can do to better where I come from, whether it be passing out dinners, food, whatever, I'm available.
Okay, well, why don't you share with the viewers so they can get a real sense of your passion here. When you learned of the project here, what were some of the thoughts and concerns that ran through your head that you'd like to share with the viewers?
Well, for one, I just found out today that as far as being an African American from Pasadena, that no one of color is going to be getting one of these homes, and I found that to be ironic when, our history of this area, we should have been at least represented by one.
Okay, so when you say of color, you specifically mean African Americans?
Absolutely, okay. African Americans. We should have had at least one home. Okay. The ratio here is 9 homes. And the history of this corridor, with it being of African American descent, of ownership back when my parents, and before that, you know, I just find it ironic that we're not having at least one home here.
Right. Well, hopefully Bubba is going to add some value to that.
That's where I got to jump in. Ms. Duncan, you're so correct. And if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not mistaken about one thing, I'm glad to see these brothers out here, these young African-American men out here giving. They're giving back. We see so much negative about our young black men. It's good to see something positive about them. Okay, the one thing I came down here and I heard you almost wanting to say is the fact that, you know, not only we got African Americans building this on this land,
Yes.
African Americans originally, from what I understand, used to own this land.
Yes.
If you know your history in Pasadena, this part of Pasadena is what used to be called in the late 1800s when the blacks first came here. This was Negro Canyon, if I'm not mistaken. This was owned by, it was Negro Canyon. This is where we lived. And you're right. I'm surprised, shocked, and dismayed at the fact that we don't have a black family in here. Not to say that the families that we met aren't deserving,
Yes.
because they definitely are.
Right.
The young man that spoke, they gave time to the country and
Right.
his families. They're worth it. But we're supposed to be included in this.
Absolutely.
It's the demographics, the numbers don't add up. What
Yes.
percentage of us are in here? That's
Right. And the carpenters, this is the African American Task Force, black carpenters that came and donated our time out here today. So, you know, I'm proud of that fact also, because we came out and we showed up and we showed out.
Yes, we did. Well, we came here to build this country. They brought us here to build this country.
Absolutely.
And we're still doing it.
Absolutely, and I'm proud of that. And being a carpenter myself, I love what I do. I wouldn't do anything else. I love it. I love my job. And I built the federal courthouse. I built the Wilshire Grand. So I've been in on some good projects here in LA. So
I can feel the pride in you and what
yeah.
you do.
Oh, yeah.
And that's right. It's a blessing to be able to love what you do.
oh, I do.
You know, we're just reaching out. This is, you know what, I hang out with Alan Shea. We work together a lot on Our Society here. This is a great show because we're reaching out and telling people about people, places, and things in Pasadena that make a difference. And we also want to bring up some truths every now and then. Some dirty laundry. Pasadena hasn't been fair to us, and we want to reach out and say, that's okay, we keep hoping, we keep hanging on, and we'll rise.
Right. Well, thank you.
And
appreciate it.
Thank you, Alan, for this show.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is Alan, and I'm back with you. I had to disappear there for a minute and let Bubba go ahead and close us out. And I just want to say, viewers, we really appreciate you staying with us today on Our Society. Thank you.